Hello YouTube, just wanted to come at you this week and talk to you about last week's winter storm that we experienced here in the Waco market and all of the state of Texas. Want to give you an update on what we experienced, what others have experienced, how some of this may affect the housing market going forward, and what you should think about whether you're buying or selling a home in this area over the next few years, right after this. Hello, I'm Anthony George, Home Guy Waco, and each week I put together a video pertaining to Waco and the real estate market. If you like my content, please consider clicking the subscribe button or the little bell. Today, leave me a comment and let me know what you may have experienced over the last week here in Texas with this winter storm that we've had to deal with. Today, I want to talk about how it affected my family, how it affected some of my friends, and things to consider going forward. First of all, just know that my wife and I were safe. We never lost power. Everything here was pretty good until Tuesday. Evidently, our water supplier lost power, so we didn't have water for 3 days. The scary part was we didn't really know whether it was frozen under our house or if it was a system-wide failure, as our neighbor directly across the street lost pressure, but they never lost water. So we kind of sat here not knowing what was really going on. Finally, about Thursday afternoon, the water came on, has been fine ever since. So I've been looked under the house, don't see any pipes burst, so it looks like we survived that portion. And like I say, we never lost power and we always had heat. Now, some of our neighbors, on the other hand, have gone anywhere from 36 to 84 hours without heat because they lost their electricity. Many had fireplaces. The problem was they ran out of firewood. But most of the power has come back on. It has been widely debated on who was at fault here. I'm not going to go into any of that, but I'm just glad that our neighbors, and our friends have their power restored. I've also heard of burst pipes in other locations. Other families have done some damage to some homes for the pipes being in the roof. Some businesses have also been affected, but just know that it was 70 degrees yesterday. It's going to be 65 today. 70s are forecast the rest of the week. So we are thawing out and we are starting to see the other side of this catastrophe. But moving forward, some things that need to be considered and thought about whether you're buying or selling a home here in the state of Texas. Yes, there are going to be some homes with some damage. We're going to have roofers move into the area. And I say that because even during hailstorms, roofers will show up. But with the ice and the snow that was on some of these roofs, you're going to see people show up and try to claim that they were damaged due to the storm. I'm not here to say that they were or they were not. I just know that a lot of times when any kind of catastrophe like this happens, there are what I consider vultures that show up. These are people that aren't from the area that'll come out, want to climb on your roof, want to do some different things, and just try to sell you a roof, tell you that they can bill it to your insurance and you should be fine. Well, as each of you know, anytime that we have a claim on our insurance, whether it's an act of God or else, it still goes down as a claim. So just beware. Look for signs of anything that may be wrong with your roof on your own. If you do have people come and try to tell you that there is damage, try to get a second opinion if you can. Try to locate someone that's local, someone that you know, someone that your friends may have used in the past. At least get another opinion before you have any work done if you're not noticing any problems or have any leaks. Second thing to consider is plumbing. Like I said, some of us lost water. Some of us have leaky pipes. Understand that the governor has authorized for emergency use plumbers that aren't licensed in the state of Texas. They may be apprentices, but they're not licensed plumbers in the state of Texas. Again, know where they come from. Have a way to go back in the future to find out anything that was done. The other thing I want to talk about with the electricity and the plumbing or the roofs, always keep good records. Over the next 5 to 10 years, anytime that you go to sell a home, you have to disclose any issues that you may know or any repairs that you may know have been performed. So if you've had damage, make sure you keep very good records so that you can disclose, because the next buyer is going to want to know. And the more detailed you can get, the more things that you can point out and say, hey, this happened, this is what was done to fix it, will help you get more down the road if you do decide to sell your property. But good records are always stressed in any situation. That way you have follow up and backup. The other thing to consider with the power outages, I know I've heard a lot of talk about I'm going to go solar, I'm going to go on my own, I'm going to get off of the grid. Well, that's all well and good. I just wanted to report to you, I looked into solar about a year ago, and this is what I discovered. With my home facing the way it is, the amount of solar panels they could put on the roof for me to be self-sustaining wasn't going to happen. They could supply 70% of my energy. The other part would have to come from the grid. I could have put solar panels out and covered my whole backyard to have enough power to basically live off the grid. I chose not to do that for a couple reasons. First thing would be that it wasn't 100%. Second reason was that you purchase solar, if you don't have the cash up front, it may not be, what they want to display as, hey, this will take care of a lot of your electric bill. Well, however, you're paying a lease on this equipment or a lease to buy. And it basically, they've priced it to where it offset what you were paying in an electric bill. Makes it look good. For the next 20 years, your electric bill is going to stay about where it is now. Sounds really great. The only problem is after about 20 years, the equipment has deteriorated enough, you're going to have to do it again. And also, when I went to researching it and being in real estate, I also had an understanding and know that not everybody wants solar. Not everybody wants those panels on their roof. So if you do decide to go solar, you're cutting your opportunities to sell your property later by at least half, if not more, of the people who do not want to deal with all of that. So you're limiting your opportunities to resell. The other thing is, the lease that was signed for the purchase of the equipment was between the homeowner and the solar company. Yep. The new buyer has no skin in the game. They don't have to pay for it. So if you decided that, hey, I want to do solar, it's going to offset with my electric bill. After about 10 years, I want to sell my home. I still owe 10 years on this lease. I've got to come up with that money to pay it off. And the new owner, it really didn't add to the value of the house, so I don't get my money back. So do your research, do your homework, do a lot of studying online. If you'd like, reach out. I'll let you know more about my experience. But just know living off the grid and solar may not be for everyone, so it may affect the resale of your home down the road. I hope this video has been informative to some of you who have kind of wondered what's been going on in the area. I hope that it's informative to anyone who's experienced issues. If you have any problems, reach out, let me know. I'll be more than happy to give you any advice or refer you to people that I know in the area that do a good job as far as repairing roofs and plumbing. Just hope everyone's safe. Glad that it's over, and hope all of you have a better 2021 than the way it started.